We're going to make caramel apples today, and my name is Prudence, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a lesson on how to do that. I'm going to take the first apple, and I have a little scoop here. You can use a large spoon, which might be brighter, and I'm going to take this apple and I'm going to put it in this boiling water briefly. We're not going to leave it in there for a long time. And the logic behind this is a lot of fruit that you will find in the grocery stores, including Costco, they have wax on them. Now, if you don't put them in boiling water briefly to melt the wax, then the caramel will not stick to them at all, ever. So, this process removes the wax. There may not be wax on it, but you don't know for sure. So in order to be on the safe side, we do this. Okay, that's part of the process. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this apple in the water. We don't want to cook the apple. We just want to melt the wax. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out, drain the water, and I'm going to set it off to the side. Now I'm going to let these cool a little bit, and then I'm going to take them and I'm going to wash them with soap and water. And you have to make sure they're dry, completely dry, no water on them at all. You don't want to take the stem off. Leave the stem on. The little stem at the top stays on. Don't take that off, but you want to make sure all down inside there is completely dry. You can see now that they've dried the wax. See the white all over them? It's all wax. We boiled some of it off. Now we're going to scrub them. So I'm going to take some soap, wet my sponge. I use this rough side. I'm going to put some soap on it. I'm not going to waste water. California. I'm going to scrub this apple really well. Make sure we get all that wax off. Put in 1 cup of heavy cream. You need to use heavy cream because you need the fat content. I'm going to put in 1 cup of pure cane sugar, or you can use Sucanat, which I would prefer, but I don't have any. And then I'm going to use maple syrup. Bring this over to the stove. I already have my burner on medium heat. And you have to cook this on a medium heat. You have to stir it. This is going to take a few minutes. So you just keep stirring this on a medium heat. It'll all blend together until it reaches 245 degrees. Measure the thermometer when it reaches 245 degrees. It's done. You have caramel. And then you have to let it cool a little bit, and then you put it around your apples. And that will make your caramel apples. We have our caramel all cooked and ready. As you can see, it's pretty caramelized. And we're going to, we can do 2 things. We can dip it in, or we can start from the top. And it does a really even job if the caramel is hot enough. Now if you find that the caramel is sticking and it's not moving, etc., it's not hot enough. Just pop it in the microwave and just warm it up briefly. Give it a minute to just dry a bit before you set it down. And then you set it on your parchment paper. I'm going to put a little more around this stick. I want that to have a really good seal. And you do have to refrigerate these when you are finished. They have to be refrigerated. Now I have all my toppings here. The ones I've chosen. I'm going to push down so they end up in that caramel. Now I have 4 apples with caramel, and I have my nuts on them. And now I'm going to show you sort of phase 2, which is putting the chocolate, and then I'll put the crinkles and the chocolate chips on them. Now what I had to do was, I had to go to a double boiler, and I had to melt the melting chocolate. So the melting chocolate's ready to go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this one, and a spoon, and I'm going to take some of my chocolate, and I'm going to dribble this around the top. I'm going to dribble it around the top of the chocolate, excuse me, the top of the apple. Make a little design out of it. And there's no need, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, unless you're a perfectionist. There's nothing perfect about most art. And the nuts are sticking to this chocolate. I know we're making a mess, but that's part of the nature of the beast. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to set it on here. I'm going to set it on my parchment paper. Because it's not going to stick to it, and I already have a sticky mess. And then I'm just going to drop these on. You see how they're sticking to the chocolate now? And I'm just going to add a few of these. This is more of a chocolate piece of art than anything else. There you go. I can even go a step further now. Over top of these, I can put some more chocolate if I want. I can just take this, I can put a little more chocolate over top of the chocolate. I can do anything I want. You know why? This is my little creation. There you have it. Set him on the parchment paper. Maybe a little bit more color. And there you go.